Going to do a bit of a day sail in the dinghy today. Starting at Cabbage Tree Point, going to come down this channel, passing Tabby Island, Eden Island to starboard, up through here to Jumpinpin, and then we're going to come back a different way, probably around past Jacob's Well. All up, that's probably about 14-15 nautical miles. Well, there's not much wind, so see how we go. My videos on YouTube, I've got like a handful of people that watch all of them, and I'm grateful for them, but I know that basically a lot of the people that are going to watch my trailer sailor videos are probably not interested in these dinghy videos, and vice versa. So whatever I talk about here, where we're going and everything, I've probably already talked about in my trailer sailor videos somewhere. So yeah, because the audience is likely to be different. So if you're one of my regulars, just bear with me on anything you've already heard before. Mind you, I forget half of what I say anyway, so you probably hear everything twice, 3 times anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Just been madly tacking up this little channel. Of course, I can't film it because I haven't got a mount on here, have I? Probably, if I'm going to make dinghy videos for YouTube, I guess I should probably work out how to put some mounts on this boat. So, sorry about that. You'll just have to bear with me a moment until I work something out. It's, well, it's not high tide. The tide's on the way out. You've got to be a bit careful here because the channel is fairly narrow and there are some little shallows with a few like tree stump type things and stuff around. So, you've got to be a bit careful around here. Yeah, there really isn't much wind today. We've been going for about 50 minutes and what have we done? We've done about 2.6 nautical miles, so yes, we're not going anywhere fast today, but that's all right. That port marker there, it's got the heebie-jeebies or something. It's got the shakes on. Yeah, I mean, basically that's what we're doing at the moment, riding that tide, because we've got no wind. Oh, we've got virtually no wind, and we've got 4.7 knots. So we're pretty much riding the tide, although the tide doesn't do 4.7 knots here. Well, I didn't think it did. So we've got a little bit of a breeze anyway, and that combined with the tide rushing out through Jumpinpin Bar down here is pushing us along, pulling us along nicely. Anyway, I better save some of this battery and stop gas bagging about nothing. If you're new to my channel, I am renowned for wobbling on about nothing and mumbling and all that kind of thing, so you better get used to it or probably find a different channel. That's another one. He just slightly slowed down for me. It gives you a faith in humanity when you're out here, and you know, it's just people slowing down for you, because mostly that doesn't happen, of course. But, very nice of those fellas. Okay, it's just about time for a jibe, but I don't think I need to put the camera down. No, it wasn't a very violent jibe, so that's fine. Oh, and up there, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's a Jumpinpin Bar will be coming up too soon. Well, maybe not soon. So we really got to move on now, and we're just drifting at the moment, and drifting along at 3.48 knots. 5 kilometres an hour, that's about walking pace. There's a little deep area we're coming over here called Perry's Hole. Okay, I might have to do a bit of tacking now. I'm going to put the camera down. Just worked out a way I can mount one of my cameras Geez, the wind's picking up now, that's for sure. Might have to tighten up the helm impeder. I think. Hang on a sec. It's picking up quite a bit here. I've been getting a bit wet. Just a bit worried because I've got my drone here and it's, you know, it's in a waterproof bag. It's not worth anything, those waterproof bags. So, yeah, I think I'm not going to go out there. I think I'll go in there. I'll have to come about and yeah, I'm turning around. I think this is getting a little bit hairy here. I'll have to put the camera down now. Sorry about that. Or will I? Oh, that's all right. Surfing along now. We're going to go through that little channel over there. And if you watch my videos regularly, you will know this place already because we were here a couple of weeks ago in the big boat. But yeah, that's where we're going in there. Nice, safe little lagoon where I can have some lunch and go for a walk. Catching anything? Getting anything? No good? So nice and peaceful here. Well, except for the noise for the jet skiers donutting over there, but other than that, it's just a lovely spot. It really is. This little lagoon here, which is like the tide's halfway out now, but obviously you can see it's been right in here, the water. It's our last boat. One of our first trips, we came here and we were going to spend the night in here, and I bring the missus and my boy in here. He was just a baby then, and it was so rough in here. It was crazy. I've never seen it that rough in here since. I had to put the missus ashore over here, and then I had to go and anchor out there, and in the end we gave up and it was about like 10 o'clock at night or something. We went to Jacob's Well and anchored there. It was nice and calm. But yeah, it is a beautiful spot here, it really is. Jumpinpin. And there's an interesting story behind this place. And I'll tell you when I get up the top here. It is a hot day. Hot day in spring. It's going to be a hot summer, that's for sure. The sand is already super hot. That is Jumpinpin Bar up there. It's quite an interesting story how this area came to be. There's a bar there, and on the other side of that is called North Stradbroke Island, and this is called South Stradbroke Island. And there used to be a thin sand isthmus between the two. But then in 1894, I think it was, a Scottish bark called the Canvas Wallace, on its maiden voyage from Scotland. It was about 250 foot long and about 1,300 tonnes maybe, and it was about 200 yards offshore out there, and it was in cyclonic conditions, and it ran aground and broke up. And I think most of the people managed to swim back to shore, except for 6 who drowned. Yeah, so the cargo of the Canvas Wallace was, I think it was pig iron, salt, Scotch beer, and dynamite. And so the ship broke up out there, but a lot of that cargo washed ashore. And of course, when the locals heard that there was all grog all over the beach, anyone that could get a hold of a boat or get a ride in a boat was here, weren't they? Because obviously to help pilfer all the grog. And what they did with all the dynamite is they piled it up on the beach. What they did with all the dynamite is piled it up on the beach down there and blew it up. And they say that weakened the sand, and it's weakened the beach. Obviously it would have taken out a lot of the vegetation and everything, and it slowly started eroding that sand isthmus. And I think it was 1898, there was massive storms, like cyclonic conditions here, and that pretty much broke through and turned it into 2 islands now. So now we have North Stradbroke Island and South Stradbroke Island. So the bigger ones are over here, millions of them, but all the babies tend to be way over there. Very strange. There's soldier crabs. They're one of the only crabs in the world that walks forwards instead of sideways. See that? They spiral down into the ground. They spiral down and keep a little chamber of air with them. They go down there and they wait down there while the tide comes in, living off their little bit of air, and then they come back out, and they come back out when the next tide's she's a pretty looking thing. She is. But kind of wish she had a little lid. Oh, nice bit of shade. Unfortunately, there's a few sandflies around though. A few videos ago, for anyone that watched when I was at Peel Island, and I was talking about when fisheries stopped me for having a seashore plant. This is what it was, pig face. I was actually here, I came in the dinghy, and I got a few cuttings of this pig face. See, when these pink flowers, they turn into that, turns into, first it's a green fruit, and then it turns into a purple fruit, which is pretty tasty. It's probably one of the better bush tuckers in Australia, I think, as far as taste is concerned. And it's my kids like them. So here we go. So these ones are starting to form. My kids like them, and so I just came up here in the dinghy. I was walking along. I thought I'd just grab a few cuttings, why not? Just grab a few cuttings off this and take it home and put it in the garden. And I was on my way pottering back in my dinghy, and hear a noise, turn around, and right behind me is a big fisheries boat. And he stops and he says, "You been fishing?" I said, "No, mate, no." And he says, "You got what's that?" And he saw it. He saw my little cuttings, and he said, "What do you got there?" And I said, "Oh, there's just some cuttings, pig face cuttings. Just going to take them home and plant them. Kids like the fruit." He said, "Oh, I think that's the seashore plant." And I said, "I'm pretty sure it is, yeah." And he said, I think it was $330 fine. Was it $330 or $280? I think it was $330. And I said, "You're joking." But I just a couple of cuttings. And I said, "But, my kids always eat the fruit when they're ripe. Is that illegal too?" And he said, "Yep, sure is." And he said, "Anyway, I'll double check and I'll get back to you. I'll ring you up." So the next day he rang me up and he said, "Look, yeah, it is. It's you can't take cuttings. You can't touch any seashore plant." He said, "But I'm going to let you off this time." Yeah, he let me off, but there you go. So I think it was $330 fine, so don't touch that. And there's another edible seashore plant. It's related to the sweet potato. This is these leaves when they're young. You can steam those ones. There's a few, but so it's probably enough tuck around here to have lunch actually. But I don't need to do that because I've got my bit of bread and a can of tuna in my bag, so I won't be touching the seashore plants. See, the tide comes right in up here and just forms a really big shallow lagoon here. It's very nice at high tide here. It's just about, it's getting on for low tide now. There's another interesting story too. That over there is called Swan Bay. On the other side of that, there's a freshwater creek that leads into it, and that freshwater creek is coming from the 18-mile swamp. It's apparently there's an urban legend. It's called the wreck of the Stradbroke Island galleon. You can Google it. But yeah, it's apparently some people believe there's a 15th, 16th century galleon or caravel in there. Because like it would have wrecked 500 years ago, and then the sand would have built up because the sand's constantly changing, so sand would have built up in front of where it wrecked. That's there's quite a bit of, there's bits and pieces of supposed evidence, I think there's Aboriginal folklore that suggests it happened, and right, for lunch we got a bit of this nice tiger bread stuff that I found in the freezer, and it's a bit soggy because water was splashed in the boat before, and it must have been splashed in my bag as well. But we got some nice chili tuna slices and nice orange and a bottle of water. And that's about it. No beer, unfortunately. The water's pretty good right now, I can tell you. It's a pretty warm day. Yeah, I don't think you could really dinghy cruise in Queensland in summer. It's just too hot. It's too hot for it. I mean, you got to have like a cover over you, even when you're sailing. Well, I do anyway. In the middle of summer, I mean, in the middle of summer, we don't even usually go out much in our trailer sailor because it's just too hot. I can't even sleep in there. It's so hot. It's just out of control in the middle of summer. But seems to be a lot of sand in my roll for some reason. Not sure if it was in the roll or if it was from that can of tuna. What else we got? Nice orange. And the tide's turning very soon. Start coming back in again in the next half an hour or so, which is good because I want to be able to ride the tide home. I read the tide coming here and I want to ride it home. Yeah, let's just pretending to come back, get the camera obviously. Okay, now we're going for real this time. Oh, too old for this one here. Little channel we've got to get through here. And we're going to have to giant. Oh, we're going to move on now. Flying. Absolutely flying. We're going to be doing 4.5 knots, maybe 5. Moving along. Right, had me jibe. A few nice waves from that cruiser going past. This is a very confusing little spot here, if you don't know it. I've seen a few come to grief here, running aground, and I've seen a half cabin go flying into this mud bank when it was just under the water. Don't think his wife was that impressed with him. It's yeah, so that channel there goes down the Gold Coast, and this channel up here goes up to Jokers Well and up towards Moreton Bay, Brisbane and all that. Well, and there's a northern cardinal marker over there. But you've got to follow all these markers up here around a big mud bank that's over there. And you've got to turn here. So there's markers everywhere. I tell you, the first time you come down here at night in a boat, when it's pitch black, that's a big test. Oh, those are lucky people with their waterfront houses. Having your own pontoon would be very nice. That's the VMR over there, the Volunteer Marine Rescue. And there's the Jacobs Well boat ramp. And I have rode home here from here before. I came down here once for a sail and got some fish and chips at the chip shop in there, and there was no wind when I came out, so I had to row home. Not too far. I thought that when we got round here we'd have the wind right on the nose, but it looks like we can get away with being close hauled. So we haven't got much wind, but pull that board right up. Put the board right down, I should say. About to run out of battery in the camera. Well, better turn off and conserve it when we get there, because you've got to see the end of the trip. They slowed down, so that was nice of them, because certainly some big cruisers that put out these giant meter bow waves, some of them will come past at like about 60 knots or something, but yeah, you get some considerate people like that. Very good. Look at that bow. Oh man, you can surf that bow wave. Look at those waves crashing on the shore over there. Oh, we've kind of conked out now. Look at that. Oh, a tiny bit of bruise. We can get a fly swatter. See how beautiful and peaceful and serene everything was a couple of minutes ago, and then it's just totally out the door now. Yep. There's the Tosso one. You're a tosser, mate! You're a tosser. Well, I thought I would have had to use the motor, but I haven't, so that's pretty good. That's Horizon Shores Marina in there. And there's Rudy Mars boatyard coming up here. It's dying on me now. Tacking up and back and forward across this channel because I'm just too close to home and I don't want to turn the motor on now because that will ruin it, you know. The wind's totally dying now, it's just conking right out. But that's alright because I'm on the final tack, I've made it home. Okay, we're home, this is the final tack. GPS conked out at 13.46 nautical miles back there, about a bit more than a nautical mile, so I'd say we've done a bit close to 15 nautical miles. It's not a bad sail today. and the battery's just about to conk out on the camera, and the wind is just conking out completely right now, just as I get home. The man upstairs must be looking out for me today, I reckon. Camera's going to conk out any second. Home. The sun's just about to go down. Perfect timing.